Probably my favorite time of the year, and it's Super Bowl time. Well, not necessarily the pregame stuff, but the game itself. Anyway, I'm going to attempt to predict who's going to win the game. And this is just my opinion, but anyway. With that said, I have no idea who's going to win the game. And I'm going to first lay out the keys for both teams to win, and then I'm going to predict who's going to win. And first off, I think it's going to be a hell of a game. It should be anyway, since it is the two number one seeds in their respective conferences. And first off, I'll start with the AFC team. And for the Broncos to win, basically this defense needed to play like they did last week in their last game in the AFC Championship game. And they need a huge play that stops one of the Panthers' drives, like a big interception for a touchdown or a big fumble at a key point in the game. And they definitely need Von Miller to step up and basically throw around Cam Newton like a rag doll. And the secondary, they definitely need to do their best to contain Greg Olsen and the other receivers and stop the running game the best they can. And of course, Cam Newton is definitely a part of that. And they also need to protect Peyton Manning, of course. And if the offensive line has a similar performance as the previous time the Broncos were in the Super Bowl, there's no way they're going to win. And the offensive line needs to do their best to protect Peyton Manning so he can perform like he normally does. And on top of that, Owen Daniels and the receivers definitely need to step up and do their best to help out Peyton Manning. And speaking of helping out Peyton Manning, the special team sees a big play, like a huge punt return or kickoff return. Not necessarily touchdowns, but yeah. And for the Panthers to win, they would also need to protect Cam Newton and let him do his magic like he has for basically the whole season. And the Panthers defense, they need to attack Peyton Manning and put him on his back. And they would also need to have, the offense needs to have not only big plays but time-consuming drives and keep Manning on the bench. Oh, and also, a side note, a couple of the prop bets. I'm sure they're going to mention dabbing a bunch of times. I'll take the over on that. I'll also take the over on the Golden Gate Bridge and Archie Manning. They'll probably show him a few times and mention his name a few times throughout the broadcast. And they'll probably also compare Manning to Peyton to Eli too, probably on top of that. And as far as the winner, I think it's going to be a slight edge to the Broncos. I think it will come down to a field goal. And the score, I think, would be 31-28. And I think the Broncos will win with the last second field goal. And if that's the case, I don't know if Peyton Manning will retire or not. But if he does, he'll definitely thank the fan base, John Elway, and the ownership. And he'll probably thank the coaches too, especially the offensive coordinator, and of course the fans. And he'll have his dad there too, probably on the field, and he'll probably choke up by the end of it too, if this is his last game. So if it is his last game, I would kind of like to see the Broncos win, because with the way the Panthers have been playing, Cam Newton will have other chances to win at least one Super Bowl by the time he retires. And that's my story, and I'm sticking